week, we had Keith Urban here as part of our Season 6 premiere celebration. We had a lot to catch up on: his new album, High, his Vegas residency, being a dad and a husband. In fact, we had so much to talk about, we couldn't actually fit it into 1 hour. So we're going to bring you more today. This Kelly Extra begins with our discussion about maybe the most emotional song on Keith's new album. Take a look. So you end the album, speaking of me talking about Because of You, but you end the album with a song called Break the Chain, and it's about your father. And I wanted to say this lyric. So it says, out here, I've been out here on my own now for way too long, fighting my own battles with my demons, with the way that I was raised. This is like maybe one of your most relatable songs, like to a lot of people, unfortunately. Do you feel like you would have written it differently, obviously, if you were younger? You know what I'm saying? Like being an adult now, being a father now, you know, having lived, and we still have generational trauma, all of us. Like, how do you think it was writing that? What did it feel like writing it now? Because I wrote Because of You, and then I wrote Piece by Piece, this other song. And those were very different like a different time in my life. And I felt that they were very different.
So when you wrote Piece by Piece, how did that come about? Did you have the title? Did you have the story that you wanted?
So I became a mother. I was pregnant, and I had never had kids. So the whole, like, abandonment, whatever things happen, all those things, it hit me differently. I was like, wait a minute. I kind of wrote that off as it was just normal, families happen like this. But then I was like, I could never leave this. It became a different thing for me as an adult, now having a child in me. And I wrote it actually when I was pregnant with my first kid, because it really gave me a different perspective. I was like, wow, that's a different, how could you walk away? Or how could you neglect? Or how could you, I had a different viewpoint.
Yeah, new
So I'm
context.
curious if you did.
Break the Chain was just a gift that day in the strangest way. I mean,
Wasn't planned?
No, I didn't have the title, I had no lyric, I had no melody, nothing. I just showed up at this guy Mark Sibley's house. A friend of mine said, you two should get together to see what happens. And the classic blind date kind of thing, you know. And I had one day off on my tour, and I drove to his house and walk in the backyard where he's got his studio set up, and hi, and he has a guitar on a stand, and I just go, oh, that's interesting. I picked the guitar up and started playing this riff. And I was like, oh, what a lovely guitar. Meanwhile, he's got a microphone and he's setting it up on the guitar.
He's like, wait a minute.
Hit record, and we're doing it. We've literally just said hi, and we're writing a song, like, immediately with nothing being said.
That's magical.
It's magic. And then this lyric came, and then we built this track quite quickly, and he's over on his little Pro Tool rig recording stuff, building the track. I went and sat on the couch like this, I have a yellow legal pad, and I just start writing these words, and they're coming and coming and coming, and I get to this second line about my father, and I just burst out crying, and just sitting on this couch, just weeping in this complete stranger's house. And I look over at him, and he looks at me. He's working away. He looks over at me on the couch and sees me like this, and he goes, must be true. And then went back to work. And it was the perfect reaction, because it just let me stay in it. Finished out the song, got on the mic, sang it, and then that's the vocal. I didn't redo it. It wasn't one of those things like, let's take it in the studio and get it all pro. It's like, let it be true. Just let it be what it is. So.
And that's like the best art to me is that you're not getting in the way of it. You're not overthinking it. It's like, look, this just came out how it is. Like, I don't know why, but I'm supposed to be the vessel in this sense for it. It's just, it's the most magical when it happens that fast and it happens out of nowhere. I just think it feels like you're here for like a higher purpose than yourself and your own world.
Oh, in those moments. And I had no idea I was still processing that stuff with my father.
Yeah.
And my dad's alcoholic, and so, you know, that has its dysfunctional raising that I thought I'd long worked through. And he's been passed away for 7 or so years, and I'm at peace with him. I have no issue. Everything's good. I've worked through it all. And then you write this song, and you're like, nope, I'm still working through stuff, apparently.
I know. I think we all are, though. I think it's always there.
Yeah.
You know, and maybe that's not a bad thing, because then we're reminded of we can do better is one.
Yeah.
You know, and two, that it's there because we matter and we deserved more in that moment. And
and I think, too, when you talk about with having children, having your own family, it gives you a new perspective on your parents.
Hell yeah.
Pluses and minuses.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of it is like, oh, they didn't have a clue what they were doing. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it, right. I thought they knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't know what I'm
Didn't come
doing.
with a manual.
Of course they didn't know what they're doing. And then I realized whatever skill sets they had, that was all they were given from their parents.
Yeah, amen.
So then I went past them and I started to look at my grandparents and I went, oh, well, no wonder.
Yeah.
They did pretty good.
Yeah.
Based on that, they actually did pretty good.
There's a level of understanding that comes.
Yeah, because they didn't come into the world fully formed out of their family. They've just got whatever they've got.
We're hopefully all doing our best.
Doing our best, and hopefully our kids do better.
Yeah.
That's the role of...
I know, that's what I always tell my kids. When I'm being serious and funny, she'll see me like eating sugar. They're not allowed sugar during the week. And I was like, we'll do better than mommy. And then I say it in serious situations too. Check out Keith's new album, High, wherever you get your music. It's available now. Thank you guys so much.